Hey, this is the English man of EB English Music, and welcome to another Studio Talk vlog. It's part 2 of the series on the 90% SA music quota that now is a year since its implementation. Now, I want to continue where we left off last week, where I spoke about the story of 90% and also the styles of music, specifically, obviously, South African music that started when 9010 came into play and where it is now. As I mentioned, at the start of 9010, we heard a lot of hip-hop and a lot of house being played, and also a lot of the same artists being played during the day, obviously, to fill up the quota. Now, I didn't forget about the South African rock guys. Obviously, there's always been a great quality. There's been great quality of South African rock music that's being played. Obviously, now there's a little bit more of it being played. But once again, allow me to just put you in perspective once again with regards to the kinds of music and genres of music being played on radio stations. When a radio station is started, it has in its license agreement a mandate as to the kind of music that it plays. Now, I said that when the 90-10 rule came into play, there's supposed to be a focus on quota, especially jazz and gospel. Now, I also mentioned that only the stations that have already been playing those genres of music will now just be playing more of them. But if you're a radio station that that's not part of your mandate to play gospel, you're not required. You can't change it all of a sudden, because in your license agreement, in your mandate, that is the kind of music that you play. Having said that, though, the stations that have been playing some South African rock under the SABC umbrella will obviously try and play slightly a little bit more of that. But stations that don't play rock, they won't be playing rock now all of a sudden because of the 90-10 rule. So another aspect of South African music, or another genre of South Africa, I wouldn't exactly call it a genre, but also a type of music that I haven't been hearing a lot of lately, that there is a major gap for. Where are the slow jams? Where are the ballads? Not everything has to be a club banger. Not everything has to be something that's going to get people up and dancing. We need to have that light and shade when it comes to tempos with South African music. If we want to make something like 90-10, or maybe eventually in the future 100% South African music across all radio stations, we need to have light and shade with regards to tempos. So we're heading into the winter season now in South Africa, and it would be nice to slow the tempo down a little bit. I know there are some artists that have done, some slow jams, some of the trap soul type style, like your Bryson Tillers and Tory Lanez type music that has filtered through, and that's really cool. But you also get some of our artists who have grown up and been influenced heavily by R&B music, and they just want to do some classic ballads that sound, to the likes of your John Legends, or even the Adele type sound. I'm not saying sound exactly like Adele, but you know what I mean with regards to the tempo. And that's also what's maybe missing. Having said that, though, we also need to make, as South African artists, we need to make our music available to be remixed. Okay? With the 90-10 rule that came into play, it also needed to apply to DJ mixes. And the one thing that DJs were complaining about is there wasn't enough sort of club edits of certain popular South African songs that they could play in their sets, so that in order to cater for the 90% rule. So I've seen DJs like Tyrone Paulson complaining about the fact that there aren't enough 12-inch mixes, which means you have quite a significant drum and bass intro before the song starts, and also an outro to give them space to mix from one song to the next. I've also seen one of the producers at Good Hope FM, Andriek Shea Peterson, calling for artists to make your songs available to be remixed. And this is why it's important to create what's known as a DJ service pack. And what that is you get a list of emails of various club DJs, and then when you release a new song, try and make available to them the radio edit, the album version. If you have a 12-inch extended version of your song, then include that as well. Instrumental. So what if they want to do mashups with your instrumental that's really hot with some vocals of another song, and also make the a cappella available, so that if they want to do their own remixes, then they're more than welcome to do so. I think what we're afraid of is we're scared of allowing certain producers to make bootleg remixes because we're concerned about money. I know that a lot of producers also complain that people want us to make remixes of this song, but they don't want to pay for it. I think in these infant stages of that, I think we need to make some more allowances until there's more money obviously flowing about in order to pay people, just so that we can push the South African music a whole lot more. In the next episode, we're going to cover some more of the juicy stuff, which is the money side and the financial implications of 90%. In the meantime, though, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next Studio Talk vlog.
Ooh, it's the English melody.